When you are a 5D mystic, there's a huge difference between how you're channeling, how you're picking up the energies, all of it. So it's something that I can, at this point in time, finally share because we have a 5D collective. The reality is we've been in 5D energy for a while, but the 4D continues to talk about it in a specific way, which is necessary because, there's all different soul age groups. So some soul age groups aren't going to move into that infinite higher human consciousness potential experience because they don't want to. It's really the mind. So storytelling, and the difference between 5D and 4D is that we don't do storytelling. We try to understand with the modern sciences, scientific methodology through education. And it's not about science being better than spiritual or spirituality. It's actually knowing the difference between a data point versus a story point. And while everybody remembers a story, which is true, that's because they will identify. People don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. Everybody knows of the Simon Sinek video, at least online entrepreneurs do. And I love it. I love that video. I love everything he shares. And when people talk about how storytelling is important, I'm like, yes, because that way they can relate to it. But what's more important is that they know there's a difference between a story and a data point. And as a dum-dum here, because, being a mystic, I'm a dum-dum to some people because, the ones who don't know about neuroscience and physicists and biologists, or even if they do, because they're theoretical, they apparently have no validity. That's right. Same way geologists, some people don't take their actual academic career validity. Like, this is very interesting for a person who knows about education. I've always wondered how people don't realize, besides Sadhguru's quote, intelligent ones wander, idiots are dead sure. So when I went to get my master's, I'll never forget not only learning about the research methodology, but also learning about a lot of subjective ways the entire academic community has, which is really humane because humanity has an ego. We all do. And on that note, I was like, so these people are going to tell me how I should conduct research, what my hypothesis, like, this is where, is it my thesis or somebody else's? I'm supposed to be the one who's in charge of this, so why am I getting all of this? There's a difference when you're 5D inside. It means that you are good with flaws, imperfections. Again, even without Sadhguru making mistakes, we don't really make them because we always learn. That's expanding consciousness for you. It's not arrogance. It's actually using the left and right mode and knowing, I'm imperfect. So are you. What's the deal? Knowing about unresolved trauma. Now that one really helps me to spell out why 4D is all over stories with karmics, third parties, energy vampires, dark auras, all the people putting things in ears of people. These are all teenagers. It reminded me, in fact, of teenage years. This is the entire collective reminds me of teenage years. And I was like, wow, wait a minute. These are all emotionally immature, insecure people. Go to figure unresolved trauma. So the shame, defectiveness, and heartbreak, gut wrench, this is an inner child. In fact, I'm thinking about taking another course to add to my knowledge and toolkit to support the people who are on a journey to become their whole heart. So they are aware in a very grown-up way about the importance of going to get support for their unresolved trauma, which comes up in charged ways. So they don't want to be yelling in the shower, I'm going to beat Bill up, like in the movies, because they're venting at the age of 50 or 60 or whatever years. So no, some people take their inner well-being very seriously, and they understand, I'm a human, you're a human, pissiness is great and all, but there's an actual, even better way to feel emotionally when you're in your ventral vagal state. Oh, today I did 3 things that people don't know about love. One of them, which they don't believe it because, this is where Stephen Porges is still building his data. Thank goodness for the scientific methodology community. I know we have flat earthers out there and people who call other people meat eaters. But if you want to talk about the intelligence that you have, I'm going to assume there's somewhere in the room intelligence, there's a difference between a data point and a story. And if you don't know the difference, then I'm going to say you want to take a step back, pause, get to the basics. Remember how we began life, which is one with the animals, and we did go through specific type of evolution, and to go again one by one. And before you even start judging humanity, which instead people do, because based on the ancient texts of religion and philosophers, evil And the devil, or just evil, is the way they define humanity. So ancient texts didn't have machines to look into the body of humans. Now we do. Thank goodness for theoretical neuroscientists, but also just the ones who have machines. They can look inside. Thank goodness for eyes inside the body of human, because, you know, I always knew if people could only see inside a person, they would see that there's muscles and bones and tissues, and oh, now we can see light. So there's so many different ways that I can present what I'm trying to present, which is 5D collective, love being human, 1. Evil, not really a thing with the devil. Mystic here. Yes, actually, I do know about the energy sphere. That's why, as I was saying, 4D has its purpose, because not everybody wants to move into the Enlightenment Soul Age group. Again, not everybody wants to move into using their left and right mode and getting the integration in the brain. That's an optimized human being's mental state. And then with their ventral vagal state engaged, which is all over your face is your heart. And that social engagement system, in order for it to be engaged, you need to be okay with being flawed and imperfect. And then when somebody's saying, I think you're FYGFG, that's where true friendship, fuck you, and then we love and hug it out. That's called true confidence. Meaning, you didn't offend me. I'm not going to be going whining somewhere about how you offended me. And that's because nobody gets offended. If you have an ego that's empowered to say, yeah, I'm imperfect, it's normal. Did you think perfection existed somewhere? Is there somewhere for a personality, you know? So when we have personalities, by the way, this is where, unfortunately, right now there's a lot of stigma, because the movies, again, didn't know that evil doesn't exist in a way of stories. Evil, the scale, thank you, Michael Stone, forensic criminologist, 1 to 22. His entire scale, all of the people could use a really great trauma therapist, but one who knows about somatics, because the mind-body is important. And I've seen behavioral narrative therapists, they don't know about the body. In fact, I've had people, the most amazing thing is when you say you want to help people and you excitedly share information with a professional in the field, with all respect, because I ain't a therapist, I don't plan on being one. I'm an online entrepreneur, I'm a content creator, I'm a lovely, lovely mystic, and a lot more. I'm Maria, which is my favorite, you know, use my name, please. I'm an educator, I inspire human potential, yes, I do. And I'm a dum-dum. And this dude, I will not ever forget just the way that I was excited about sharing what I had learned and the things that came out of his mouth. I have this exorbitant number, you know, whenever anyone makes up, whether it's a small number or big number, you're like, wow, now that's amazing. And I still don't remember the jabillion. I have a bajillion ways to contest what you just said. And as he said this to me, I'm like, shit, I don't have enough time to get all the jabillion ways, because he was leaving. So I was like, I'm curious, how would you treat your patient then if they have unresolved trauma and they can't stay on your little bed, and you little doctor there, long story short, this human being who wants to help people with his lovely little girlfriend, and yes, little I say, because anybody who's small-minded enough to say, I want to help people, and then you have a jabillion ways to contest somebody who just told you what they've learned from other therapists who are in the field and still doing research, you obviously have a little mind, because that's a little mind. So there's a big mind. A big mind is where I'm not afraid of opening it up, because I can't get lost in it. Because you trust yourself enough to know that you're going to stay grounded. Like, again, I have nothing against the flat earthers. I just wonder how genius people want to use their brain that way. Oh, I forgot, again, storytelling. And there's traditional cults and culty cults, and thank goodness for the ethical cults. At least we have some ethical people out there who are going to ensure people don't lose their mind into storyland, and they do something with their actual physical life here. And again, yes, it's beautiful to have clairs. I love when I get to see my past lives, my future life. Man, it's amazing. But I'm waking up every day and I get to participate here. So the person who contested me basically ignored completely the fact that a person who has unresolved trauma won't be able to sit with their sensations necessarily, because the body to them was unimportant. So good therapy is important. And today, luckily, we have enough information. 5D mystics, very different from a 4D. There aren't no energy vampires. We don't cut cords. We're all a big family. We can help each other through mindful relationships to heal our unresolved trauma and our insecure emotional stuff by creating mindful relationships, functional adults. That's the love language. And so love, it's free and it's always there when you are ready to socialize with each other. Hope you have a great day and tune into the podcast for more.